1 second.
Let's see if we are
Limited.
live.
No, we're not.
We're not live? Oh, man.
No, we probably are. I ain't paying attention.
Okay, here we go.
We're live.
Okay, we're live. Oh, shit. So, what is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 51. And, yeah, this might be a short podcast episode. You know, we always say that, and sometimes it comes true. Well, I don't think any time it came true. I think that the most we've ever done is an hour and 50. But we got a couple topics, not big topics, nothing like we're like, oh, this is like super good to talk about, but nonetheless, we have an interesting tidbit. I completely forgot to mention something in the previous podcast episode, and this has to do with a PlayStation DevCon or something like that. It happened in London. I think it was like last week or something like that, but they were very tight-lipped about it. No one knew what's going to be about, and no one has come back and say what it was about. And many of us believe that, hey, man, it seems like what they tend to do is talk about most likely the PlayStation video game system, you know, their next console, and ask, you know, the devs, you know, from Ubisoft and all the other, you know, publishers if they like the specs, if they should change anything around. And they did this, I think, before the PS4 reveal event in February. So I'm pretty much in the assumption that, you know, the PS5 is basically almost imminent at this point. The announcement most likely will be February, but hey, I'm not going to say that it's definitely going to be February, but it's leaning towards it might be. And we may have it coming out late 2019, early 2020. But Jigga, what do you think about the PlayStation DevCon thing that happened and how it's, you know, super tight-lipped it was?
I mean, I really have no opinion, but I don't like where they do shit like that where it's like, oh, we doing something, but we can't let you guys know about it. But I mean, it's good that they're like didn't you say they're trying to get like people's opinion on their specs or whatnot?
Yeah, they did the same thing with PlayStation 4 where they were like, we need more memory or RAM. And they went with GDDR5.
Like, I'm tired of these, like, the fucking original Xbox and PS4. That shit was trash, bro. We need to, like, that shit is still holding games back to this day, bro. Yeah, so as long as they make it, like, but you know they're going to make them weak on purpose so, like, they can come out with the Pro and X version or whatever the new systems are. And I hate that.
Well, it depends on how powerful the systems are, you know, with the leaks,
No,
you know,
rumored
rumored leak specs that it may be 10, you know, T-flops or something like that. It's supposed to be 6 T-flops, and, you know, the Pro or something like that. So shoot, if it's you know, with these leaked rumors happening and it's in those specifications, it would be actually more powerful than my PC, to be honest. But you know, my PC is it's doing well without the graphics card, but nonetheless, Inspector, what do you think about PlayStation DevCon? You think this is them talking PS5?
Maybe. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think it could possibly be them talking PS5.
Because usually they like talk about this stuff, about what's happening and stuff like that, but developers are super tight-lipped. But what about you, Sly? What do you think was happening in PlayStation DevCon?
Just they're probably just going to announce probably the new console, like a little bit of information. And possibly some, you know, some developers that are exclusive to the PlayStation, such as, you know, The Last of Us and Days Gone. So,
well, would I think they would be there? I don't know if they would, because, you know, they give the opinions on the system even before the other developers, like, you know, from Activision and EA and Ubisoft. They, like, you know, show that off before. Well, they don't show off the system. It's, you know, a dev kit system. But they give their opinions on what the system should be. and then they start to make the specs, and then tell the other developers from third party, like, here are the specs. Is this good? Is it not good? What should we improve on? Do you guys like the prototype DualShock 5? What should we change? Blah, blah, blah. And that's what they did with the PS4 with Bungie. And they were like, you need to fix the triggers, man. And they're like, all right, let's get better triggers. Yeah, because the PS3 had awful triggers.
You see, but the one thing I'll say is the fact that with this, what is it, PlayStation, this
5?
PlayStation, this PlayStation conference. I'll call it PlayStation conference. I think there's going to be like 1 or 2 games that which already been announced. They'll just try to. They'll just like.
Wait, are you talking about the February event, or did you talk like because the PlayStation DevCon thing happened last week?
No, I'm talking about the February event.
Okay, yeah. Well, they announced quite a big bit of games and stuff like that for third party, and I don't maybe
because the one from last
2
week,
first party, I think, or maybe 1 first party game.
The one from last week, I had no information on that, but the one which is next, I do know that that's going to feature heavily announced games, and like The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, all those types of games are going to be PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much they're going to be at those events at that conference, and basically they're going to talk about if they specifically are going to keep it for this generation, or if they're going to try and put it for next gen as well.
Yeah,
which would be interesting. I think because I can't remember. Was The Last of Us Part? Well, The Last of Us Part 1 was on this generation, right?
No, last
generation. Then it was a remaster.
Yeah, you're talking about the remaster that came out this gen.
Yeah. Because I'm just like thinking, because they did that, I'm just thinking now that, I just think they might actually, put the game on this gen, and then they put it on the next gen as a remaster, like they did with this.
I don't think they're gonna do remasters because of the they're doing backwards compatibility. So it's like.
Do you think Last of Us could possibly be a launch title, or do you think it's going to be the last game for the PS4?
It depends. Death Stranding could be the last one. It just depends when the PS5 launches. It could launch in late 2019 or early 2020. Some of the people
the thing is, Death Stranding never had was never shown to be on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's been saying capture on PS4 Pro.
No, that game's probably gonna be next gen, in my opinion.
That was gonna be next gen.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be because what Kojima has been always saying, it's like it's coming out in 2019. It's coming out in 2019, and it seems like what he's been saying and what other people like Troy Baker, it's fast approaching. Like it's almost like finishing stages because they're done with all the mocap and stuff like that. It's supposed to be Kojima's biggest game yet. Troy Baker is saying that, and and he's only done 2 weeks worth of mocap, Troy Baker, and he's already done, and he thinks Norman Reedus is done as well. So I'm thinking, it's either 2019 or 2020. I don't think they're gonna, put it on just the PS5. If that's the case, I'm thinking it's just gonna be backwards compatible with PS5. Because they're gonna have they have the patent for backwards compatibility, and they can up-res games and have better textures with updates and stuff like that. So I don't think they're gonna make it remasters again, because a lot of people are vocal that they rather have it backwards compatible than remasters. That's what Sony's been kind of getting harped on this generation with no backwards compatible games, and I can understand some people saying that, but people have to also realize the PS3's architecture is the cell architecture, which is very hard to develop for, and it's hard to port over or do backwards compatible for those games. But nonetheless. There's another interesting tidbit of news, and this has to regarding essentially, what is it? Okay, yeah, here it is. And it has to do with Final Fantasy VII, and what I've always been saying, and some people I guess don't understand it, is Nomura is the director for the game. But he's legit. Like, I have quotes because some people want to like always throw Nomura under the bus, and he's been always working on Kingdom Hearts 3 for a while now. I think it's 2013 it was announced, so it's coming out in 2019 because 2013 is right when it first started being developed with pre-footage and stuff like that. So Tetsuro Nomura, director of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, has hinted that Square Enix is considering revisiting other entries in the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, which includes games like Before Crisis, Crisis Core, which is really good, Dirge of Cerberus, and the film Advent Children. I have not watched the film Advent Children, or I never also played Dirge of Cerberus. So, reported by Famitsu via translations provided for Gematsu. Nomura was participating in a Q&A session for The World Ends With Your Final Remix when a fan said, I want to play Before Crisis. Final Fantasy VII again. Right now, this is what Nomura has to say. Right now, I'm concentrating on Kingdom Hearts 3, but when that's finished, 7 will be where I head next, responded Nomura. I'm thinking about ideas regarding the remake's release. I even spoke to producer Yoshinori Kitatsu about it today. All of us old-timers are considering various developments in regards to what accompanies the remake, like if we can manage to do something about the compilation titles too, but for the time being, please wait for 7's turn to come. This comment doesn't make clear if Square Enix intends to integrate elements of the compilation of Final Fantasy VII into Final Fantasy VII Remake, or if ports, releases, or even remakes of these titles could be in store instead. Of course, considering this is a translation, anything that Nomura said should be taken with a grain of salt. And that's it. From what I gathered, he's just, after Kingdom Hearts 3, he's just focused on making the Final Fantasy VII Remake game. And yeah, this is not a PS4 game at all anymore, because that game's been legit rebooted, because it was made by CyberConnect 2 originally, because the Square Enix handed the title off to them, and then they didn't like where it was going, so they took it off to be put back in-house. And then, when Nomura was working on Kingdom Hearts 3, in the conference meeting, hey, Nomura is the director for Final Fantasy VII Remake without consulting him. So, yeah, he's right now just finishing everything on Kingdom Hearts 3 related stuff, and then he's going to work on Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then maybe he will integrate some sort of the other games that has come out after the Final Fantasy VII game, like before, what were the other games, like Before Crisis or Crisis Core. It could be afterwards, or I don't know how they would do it, or it could be into the whole entire game, which would make the game even bigger. I don't know. And personally speaking, I rather, Nomura just focus on Kingdom Hearts 3, finishing whatever, because this game's coming out on January 29th, and it's fast approaching, and it's one of my most anticipated games of 2019. But Jacob, what do you think about people asking for the other games as well as Final Fantasy VII? And do you totally think this is a PS5 game and whatever next Xbox? Well, it's supposed to be timed, so PS5, and then coming later to Xbox, as well as I don't know, whatever you think.
I don't know, bro. I really have no opinion, bro. I just want new Final Fantasy. I don't care about that remake, bro. I never played that. That was like way long ago before. I was gaming at that time, but like not into Final Fantasy like that. So, man, it's not really for me. But I'm ready for new Final Fantasy, bro.
What do you think about people, asking for the other Final Fantasy VII spin-off games, and just not like talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and just like, oh, we want this and that? Do you think they should just chill out?
I mean, fans gonna always want what they want, so it's like I can't be mad at them telling them chill out, but they need to fucking work on that remake first, which seemed like it's going through a lot of trouble getting made.
Yeah, it was CyberConnect 2. I forgot. They made some Naruto games, I believe, right? Bandai Namco usually works with CyberConnect 2. I don't really think CyberConnect 2 is that great, to be honest. And I sound like a hater? Listen, what's the best CyberConnect 2 game?
I don't even know, but I never heard of them. Bro. I really never heard of them. Like
exactly. They made some Naruto games in the past. I don't know. Some like anime-esque games. That's why you never heard. I think they might be working on that Tokyo Ghoul game, actually.
Ew, no. Stop.
I think. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I guess when you found out, Jigga, when Nomura was on the project or got announced, did you know immediately because he's working on Kingdom Hearts 3? It's like this game is, is going to be a while.
How can I say this? I mean, I don't know. I really have as long as it comes out right, bro. Like, I'm not one of them dudes who be like, "Oh, this game took so many years to make," and it's like and complain about that. Like, I really don't like. As long as the game comes out and it's good, and they don't do a fucking like a Kingdom Hearts where they fucking cancel that shit and bring it back, or should take like 7 decades to come out. Like, all the dudes who fucking want to play are like grown and old by the time it comes out.
Oh man, I feel that. I mean, but by the way, I don't think we're gonna get another like Final Fantasy game, like actual sequel, because they're doing season 2 of the DLCs for Final Fantasy 15 in 2019. So yeah, they're milking that Final Fantasy 15 stuff, Jigga. I don't know if you're gonna be getting 16. Not for a long time. Maybe in 10
we
years,
bro. We need a sequel, bro.
Yeah, but you totally think this is a PS5 game, though, right?
Most likely, yeah. All right. These consoles at the end of their cycle, so most likely.
I mean, they haven't they're rebooting it, so it's like it's going to be a while. I guess Sladia, what do you think about fans wanting more titles for the Final Fantasy VII remake, even though these were spin-offs years later from the original, like PS2-esque games and PSP games? And do you think this is a PS5 title? And how do you feel that Nomura has to tackle projects back to back, like Kingdom Hearts 3, and then going into Final Fantasy VII remake?
Well, it's simple. I think it's because many of the diehard fans have been asking for the Final Fantasy VII remake since way back in 2015. You remember? Back in 2015, there was a leak. And, they said back in 2015, oh, yeah, we're working on it. Then it got rebooted. But now now we know it's been rebooted in such a way. I don't think it'll be this generation console, to be honest with you. I think it'll be next gen alongside, alongside the Avengers project, because, the thing is, this generation, they pushed out Tomb Raider, and that went okay. And now they're doing Kingdom Hearts, which will probably see them through till, E3, right? So they're gonna try and put money onto it. So I don't see the Final Fantasy fans. I don't see the Final Fantasy game being, a this generation console game. I don't see it because it's already too late for it. If you know what I mean, right?
I don't think that game's coming out till
2020.
No, bro. 2020. No.
2020 2021.
No, bro. Okay, let's say this. Kingdom Hearts 3 got announced, 2013, right? And this is the same director, Nomura. This game is coming out in 2019, right? That is 6 years. I'm saying this game is coming out in 2025. That's my stake on it. Nomura takes a while for his games, and this isn't going to be different. You're going to be at least maybe 4, at least 5 years into the life cycle of the new generation of consoles. So yeah, I totally don't see 2020 as a realistic approach, because the development has fully started, because Nomura said he is focused on Kingdom Hearts 3 right now, and he has not, once Square Enix took back the game from CyberConnect 2 because they wanted to do it in-house because it didn't look good. They rebooted it essentially, so now Nomura has to work right after Kingdom Hearts 3 releases. Final Fantasy 7. But do you think that's kind of stressful for the director?
I think personally, on a personal level, I think it does take a lot of pressure on the director now. But I think Square Enix has really messed up. Realistically, they messed up the way they handle games. If you know what I mean, right?
Well, this is the first time they, ever outsourced.
Announce a game, right? And then you're waiting years later before you get the game.
Well, I think they thought that CyberConnect 2 was going to make a good game.
Yeah,
I think that. I don't think they were like,
you don't think. So you said you don't think this game is a 2020 release, right?
No. They haven't.
What do you think it'll be?
I said 2025.
Dude, fans are gonna be pissed. I'll tell you that now.
Well, I mean, they got the freaking Final Fantasy 15 Season 2 DLC. Hey.
Final Fantasy 15, but how much of a satisfaction will that keep the fans? And I don't think it will.
Supposedly that is making them enough money to make Season 2 DLC.
I know, but some fans just gonna be like, no, we don't want more like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 15 DLC. We want more along the lines.
Well, my thing is, then if fans want to, then they don't buy the DLC then, and speak with your wallet. If keep buying it, and giving the developer, the publisher.
I'm not saying all fans. I'm saying some fans.
Oh yeah, then you have the vocal minority be out.
Yeah, you have the vocal minority do that type of thing, because I've seen that with other games that basically say we want this game, we want more stuff, and we're not getting it, and then some people say, well, let's move on to the next game. So yeah, I've seen that happen with other devs and stuff. So I think with this game, with Final Fantasy 7 remake, I don't see it being on this one anyway. And it's the same. And I totally believe that what they're going to do now with Square Enix is they'll focus on Kingdom Hearts, and then they'll work on Avengers and try and push that for next year. And then the year after that, it will be Final Fantasy 7 remake be pushed out, like promotional wise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. All right, Inspector. What do you think about the whole Q&A? Them asking for the other Final Fantasy 7 titles and not the main entry, about making those, and how that is going to affect Nomura because of him going to Kingdom Hearts 3 and then going immediately to Final Fantasy 7 remake. And when do you think it's coming out?
I mean, that's a lot of work for him. I really have no opinion because I'm not big into Final Fantasy, but I think it will come out 2020 at the earliest.
Okay. That's early, man. 2020. Jeez. I'm just because they said that each episode is gonna be a big game. That's what they originally said. And supposedly Final Fantasy 7 might be one of the biggest games in terms of length or something like that. But I don't know. I'm still sticking with the amount of dev time that they had with Kingdom Hearts 3 and saying it's going to be for 6 years of development. That's just me. I guess we can go into Red Dead 2 sales or shipments. It shipped 17 million copies, which is a lot of money that they're getting and stuff like that. It's a big accomplishment. It beat did it beat the total sales of Red Dead 1 in 8 days or something like that? So, I mean, that's not a shock to me because, the story for that game is really, really good. But, I mean, this is Rockstar numbers. No one's surprised about that.
Yeah, some people are.
Huh? They're surprised?
Yeah, I am.
I was initially, and then I was like, you know what? They're probably gonna keep breaking and doing numbers and beating lifetime sales for Red Dead 1. I mean, that's just me. I guess expand on what you're saying, Jiga. Are you
Like,
surprised about the 17 million?
yeah, I mean, I thought it was gonna be big because like after playing the first one, I knew it was the first one was really good, and then coming off the success of GTA 5, I knew it was gonna be big. But like the numbers is breaking, I never saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's good though. So.
Yeah, I mean, and then the beta is supposed to be coming out this month. I don't know. I have my doubts. I think that thing is going to get delayed for some reason.
Yeah, because didn't GTA 5 get delayed?
Yeah,
like fucking 3 or 4 times. That's just
something like that. I don't think it's coming out because there's like no word about it this whole month for some reason. I mean, yeah, we are in like what the first. No, well, technically, like the first week, I guess. But I guess, Saad, are you surprised about the 17 million shipments?
Uh,
Red Dead 2?
sorry, mind blank. So what was that for Red Dead 2?
17 million shipments for
No surprise. Because it's done really well. Don't forget, it did really well on one weekend, and it has done than Spider-Man did, right? And the branch for the what's it called, marketing for the game is done really good as well. Even though there's been little marketing, if you know what. So and plus it's 60 hours, so there's tons of stuff you could do on it. So after the reviews, and I think it's done really well, and I think possibly more on the online aspect is going to be pushed out in terms of promo in the next week or so. Well, no, sorry, next week. That's what I think.
All right. What do you think, Inspector?
I'm not surprised either. I knew that since GTA 5 was a huge game, I expected this one to be huge. And knowing the hype from the first one, like that just heightened up the like people's anticipation, and I'm not surprised with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, some people were surprised just because cowboy game, Western. People didn't think
It's Rockstar though, so you have to put that into consideration.
That's true. I guess we'll go into the biggest fiasco in like the last weekend. Diablo Immortal was announced at BlizzCon. Everyone was thinking that Diablo 4 was going to be there, but Kotaku was saying that they pulled out the Diablo 4 announcement at the last minute, and then Blizzard responded saying that was not true. So we don't know. Jason Schreier was on that, so I have no idea who to blame. Blizzard could be lying to save face. I don't know why they would at that point, because then the stocks plummeted for Activision because Blizzard's a subsidiary company of Activision. Activision owns Blizzard, and with that Diablo Immortal, it being on a phone game and it being reskinned of the developers. I don't know who the developer is, but they usually make phone games. And it looks like a reskin of their other versions of games that they have made in the past. It doesn't look like they've done anything with it. It's just, paint on it, essentially. Kind of like Dynasty Warriors with like Zelda, right? And for me, like personally, if I spent money for BlizzCon and I was expecting, some big announcements, and I was go to the Diablo thing, I would, you know what? I know game journalists were like getting pissed at fans and stuff like that. I'm actually on the side of Diablo fans. They're like, is this going to be on a PC? And they were like, no, don't you guys have phones? It's like, what? No one wants to play video games on their phones, bro. It's like, if we're going to be completely honest, I can understand if you want to widen your demographic, right? But do not alienate your hardcore fans. They're your bread and butter. They're the ones that are going to support you, the ones that are going to help sell your games to the casuals. And when you do that and try to insult them and stuff like that, it's not going to work out. And if I spent money on BlizzCon and these type of announcements are being made, I'm going to get pissed. We can't just say, "Oh, we love it and we're fine with it," and all this and that. Like, and this is me not condoning if somebody is like doing hate speech or like threatening a developer. I'm saying that's not okay. But saying like, listen, this isn't what we want. It's like we don't want this phone game. It looks like a cheap cash grab. Like, listen to the fans. And that's that. Even the Diablo 2 producer said Blizzard is losing touch with the gamer. A Diablo 2 producer.
Well, that's what I don't like is when people come out and have legitimate complaints. Like every other fucking publication is like, oh, those are just nitpicks. It's like, no, but if I pay my hard-earned money to come out here and they showing me some cell phone game, I'm gonna be upset, and I have a right to be upset, bro. Like, if you don't agree with that, then just sit back, fall back. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of them who come out there, they probably get flown out by their company, so they ain't paying their hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're talking about the journalists. Where the hardcore fans are, they're gonna be like, "What?" It's like, what is this shit? It's like, I didn't pay my money just to see a phone game that's gonna be monetized heavily, and it's like,
facts.
And the problem is, it's also a cheap cash grab. Nothing was done. It was lazy being made. It's like a reskin of the games that they have made in the past. It's nothing new. And I'm so disappointed. I think it was like the devs were like a Chinese company or something like that, I believe. Yeah, but it is what it is. Tari, what do you think about the whole Diablo Immortal controversy? And
oh boy, here's gonna come my big mini rant on it. I think Blizzard fucked the fans over. Why would you fucking make a mobile game expecting fans to be happy just with that, right? Mm-hmm. And not put it on for PC? People want to play Diablo game on PC, not only for mobile. And the way that I don't know, did you see the video for it, by the way?
Oh yeah, I saw like people saying like, is this like a late April Fool's joke or something like that?
Yeah. And then the guy's face drops. The guy who presented the thing, his face
too, and he's like, wait, what?
No. The guy who was presenting, his face dropped. The fat dude. So I was just like, dude, you screwed up. Your company screwed up giving these fans just a mobile game. They're not going to be happy with that. It's like, it's like, how do I put it? It's like saying Rocksteady's giving us a fucking Green Lantern game over a Justice League game. People are going to be pissed. So that's the best way to put it, right? No offense, Inspector, of course. So I'm just saying. So as an example, people would be pissed. So, and they are, rightfully so. And I think at the end of the day, if Blizzard don't get their heads out their ass and start focusing, saying, okay, yeah, we'll make a PC port for it, then you're fucked. You're gonna lose your hardcore fan base. They're just gonna move on to another game.
Yep. Inspector, what do you think about this whole Diablo thing?
I mean, yeah. I kind of get where the fans are coming from. Like, I'm not big into Diablo, but if the game they announced was just a phone game and not like the main game, I would have been mad. I feel it would have. It's stupid, and if it's just a reskin of a different game, then why? Then just why?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make. And you said, as you said, it's going to be monetized heavily because all mobile games are monetized heavily. So you're just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the gaming journalists, just like essentially like, oh, you fans are ungrateful and all this type of stuff, and like saying you guys shouldn't be doing this?
I mean, journalists will be journalists. They try as bipartisan as they can, but they always have their biases.
Yep, I agree. So I guess we'll go to the next topic, and that has to do with Riot. Riot being sued for gender-based discrimination, which is crazy. Right? I guess I'll get the little background. Riot makes a little game called League of Legends. I'm not big into League of Legends per se because I think it's a bit toxic. They're very competitive league, but they got a, I guess, dedicated fan base. Riot Games has been sued by one current and one former employee, and has been accused of endemic gender-based discrimination and fostering a men-first environment. As reported by Kotaku, the lawsuit follows another investigation by Kotaku that delved into a sexist culture at Riot Games. The publisher of titles such as League of Legends, the class action lawsuit filed against Riot Games states that, like many of Riot Games' female employees, plaintiffs have been denied equal pay and found their careers stifled because they are women. Moreover, plaintiffs have also seen their working conditions negatively impacted because of the ongoing sexual harassment, misconduct, and bias which predominate the sexually hostile working environment of Riot Games. Furthermore, the lawsuit alleges that Riot violated California's Equal Pay Act and law against gender-based discrimination at the workplace. And the employees involved are seeking compensation on unpaid wages, damages, and other penalties with an exact amount to be determined at trial. Kotaku's report in August detailed a culture of sexism at Riot and told the story of 28 current and former employees who dealt with a bro culture that in some instances rewards behaviors that disadvantages women. Following Kotaku's report, Riot Games responded to the allegations, claimed they have a zero-tolerance policy on discrimination, harassment, retaliation, bullying, and general toxicity. They continued their message on Twitter and said that they would share the immediate and long-term actions were taken to enact real change for women at Riot. While Riot has appeared to have removed many of the people involved in creating the sexist culture, according to several and former employees of Riot, there are still a few on board who are key alleged perpetrators of abusive behavior, according to Kotaku's reporting. Jessica Negron, one of two plaintiffs, said that shortly after she was hired, her manager quit and she took on her job duties but did not see an increase in her compensation of job title. She said that even though she spoke up and asked to make her change official, 3 men were hired into the role one after another, and she was never interviewed or had her voice heard. Furthermore, Negron claimed that in just 1 month, she counted that her male colleagues at Riot used the word yeah, I won't say that, over 500 times. And one of Negron's supervisors said that diversity should not be a focal point of the design of Riot Games products because gaming culture is the last remaining safe haven for white teen boys. The other plaintiff, current Riot Games employees, Melanie McCracken, has been working at Riot since 2013, spoke up about her experiences with the sexist culture and claimed that HR failed to keep the meeting confidential and leaked the information to her supervisor. She took a new position in 2015, and her former supervisor was then promoted to a senior position in 2016. She was then said to have been given a 5-month countdown to find a new position or be fired. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff to digest. So it seems, yeah, of course, we know the general story. We don't know all the facts. I don't have a stake in anything going on. I don't have bias. I don't care for League of Legends like that. So my friends always try to get me on it, but I just can't, just because of. Oh man, my friends are very competitive when it comes to League. I guess it could be possible that there's a so-called bro culture, and they said 100 times the word, no, the male colleagues at Riot used the word I could say dick over 500 times in just 1 month. My question is, why would you just count like 500 times that word? It's beyond me. I don't understand that. I don't know what the point was for that. It's like, I don't know. That's just me. Nonetheless, I do think if you're getting a higher position, you should get paid. You should get what you get paid for. If she gets paid still the same amount like she did in the previous position, then that's not okay. That's what I agree with. The whole bro culture, like I there's so much interpretation to the so-called bro culture, so I can't really speak on it exactly. It's like, oh, this bro culture or this bro culture. It's like it's so much interpretations when people talk about it. Like I don't know exactly what that means, but that's me. And other than that, if Riot is like changing and stuff like that, I'm totally fine. Like with them changing, right? Them changing the environment for Riot and stuff. But like, I can't say whether or not these allegations are true because there's only 2 people on the suing Riot, so I can't really I can't say. But what I can say is, if women are not getting paid higher in a new position, that is 100% wrong. But other than that, I can't speak on bro culture. I think saying the word, them counting the words dick, people saying dick, like counting it 500 times. Oh, they said it. It's like me, like on this podcast, counting the words like any curse word and just counting it. I just think that's kind of dumb. And that doesn't like help your case, I think. But that's just me. Other than that, that's what I think. What do you think, Jigga, about Riot Games being sued?
Like, how can I say this and not be offensive? I get where they're like, it's basically like, I don't know, bro. It's a weird topic. Like, I get, yeah, you should be able to be comfortable in the environment that you work at. So yes, as men are known to say like dumb shit, so it's like you should kind of like calm that shit down because like it's in a work environment where there are females work there, so it's like the things you would say when you're in a group full of dudes, just don't say it. So that, and it's like I don't know. It's like be professional, bro. That's all the problem is. Like, and the thing about the fucking her doing the job and not being paid, like there are companies that do that shit where it's like until they find somebody, they just have you do the work and don't fucking upgrade your pay. So like that is some shit in the companies that they fucking do, and they need to stop that. Like, if you're gonna have somebody do the work, paying for it, yeah, I don't know, bro. It's all terrible. Like, if like the shit they were saying is true, like where they were being sexually harassed. I think that's the one where that Century sent me, like they were sexually harassing the females and stuff, and like, yeah, it's like y'all gotta stop it, bro. It's not cool. But the bro culture thing is like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, yes, I don't know, bro. It's just.
See, my thing is, I don't know what exactly the bro culture. It's so much interpretation.
It's basically just like
it's like different interpretations on that. To me,
like to me, it's like when college dudes act. That's basically what the bro culture is.
No, my thing is then like I don't know, like I just never understood the bro like the so-called bro culture because I get different interpretations from different girls when I ask what is bro culture, and they just give it to me. It's very different than other people's like viewpoints, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But my thing is this so-called bro culture. Like, isn't there such thing as like I don't know, like the female culture and stuff like that? And, like,
not really.
I know that, but I'm saying, how does that change stuff? Like, I'm confused on that. Like, is there like a difference between like, let's say, female culture and stuff like that? If that's even a thing.
So like female culture would probably be like feminist.
Okay. Yeah,
that's just my guess, but like,
that's better.
Like, Like bro culture is like basically just dudes acting like a bunch of kids basically like seeing fart jokes and dig jokes and like probably saying like, oh man, that chick got a fat booty, bro. Like I'll have her sit on my face and like just saying a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Okay.
That's inappropriate for the work environment.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Sly? What do you think about Riot Games being sued for gender-based discrimination?
I've got no comment because I don't really know what to say about that. Honestly, I'm mind blown.
It's a really serious topic, though.
Yeah, I know it's a serious topic, but I'm mind blown that this shit has happened. So, so it's kind of taking me back.
What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Well, yet another company that's going under investigation or allegations. It's not an easy topic to cover.
Yeah.
It is terrible that they were freezing her pay.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Raises when you get a different job position or higher job position in the company.
Yeah, that's really shady. As for the bro culture, as you said, like as Jigga said, say when you're like in a bar with your friends, you should really keep in the bar with your friends or like with your friends and not say it in the workplace because it's very inappropriate. For the workplace, so because in the workplace you're supposed to be professional and not like a dude. Like you have to, whatever the word is.
Just censor yourself.
Yeah, censor yourself.
Okay, that makes more sense. I guess is that my last gaming topic news? Oh man, let me think. I think we got one more actually. We got one more gaming topic, and then we only got like two more other topic news. The internet thinks Darachine or it's a VR game From Software was making. It came out. The internet thinks Darachine confirms Bloodborne 2. Which I'm a big fan of Bloodborne. If Bloodborne 2 is coming out, why not? Let's talk about. It's only been out a day, but players have already been discovering Easter eggs inside From Software's new adventure, Darachi, and one in particular has got some fans excited that Bloodborne 2 might be on the way. As discovered by amazing Kamara via Factra Life, a doll can be found in the new VR game, which makes a gesture known to Bloodborne players as "make contact." The same gesture used by Bloodborne character, the doll. More pointedly, when expected, Darachi's doll description reads, a doll, the stone girl Fiona, who appears in the unfinished tale. When a person has a bad dream, Fiona appears and helps them flee. Like, the hunters and, the dreams and stuff like that for Bloodborne. That's a reference to an unfinished tale. So gotten fans talking, if this is a Bloodborne reference, then implies Miyazaki, who directed both games, might see more for his Lovecraftian creation in the future. Users on Reset Era have pointed out other references, including a book using the Bloodborne logo font, another doll mentioning an unfinished tale alongside Bad Dreams. So, for me, what I think, I do believe this is referencing, Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a unfinished tale. I think we're going to get Bloodborne 2, and having the doll that looks very similar to the one in Bloodborne is kind of teasing fans, like, listen, that this is gonna happen, that Bloodborne 2 will be on PS5. And I'm totally the one who's very hyped to get it. That's one of my favorite Soul-esque games. It's Bloodborne, Demon Souls as well. I really love those games, and I think that we should get that soon. It's like one of those, I guess, titles after Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Very much so. I mean, it's interesting that they put it in this game, giving references and Easter eggs that this might be coming out. And many games have done this before in the past. And I'm not surprised that they've done it in this game. But Jacob, what do you think about like all these like references? And do you believe in these references in this From Software VR game?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I really don't kind of haven't played the first one.
What? Chicken? No. Oh my gosh! You play Shenmue, but you don't play Bloodborne.
I played fucking Dark Souls. Was it 1 or 2?
Those are still plays.
I got enough of that, bro. I got enough of that fucking hard for the sake of being hard. It's annoying to me, bro.
Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne. Oh man, you make me sad, Jigga. Make me
sad. Like, you gotta be a masochist to like them games, and I don't, bro.
I'm not into all that. Listen, those are good games, all right? Very good games. Like,
you're really not, bro. It's like, I'm gonna throw a boss that fucking spams his strongest move at you, bro. Like, that's dumb.
Listen, I'm not gonna say bosses aren't hard. I'm not gonna be like, yo, Bloodborne is easy, bro. I never died once. There are some people like that. I'm like, shut up. You died in the game. I don't want to hear you say you only died 0 times in Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I hate when people say that, though. But I'm not going to be the type of person to say that. Yeah, it's hard, but I think it's a very enjoyable experience in terms of combat and atmosphere.
I mean, yeah, I will agree. Like, most of those games do have good atmosphere, like the environment, but it's like this. I like story, and those. Oh like, yeah, you gotta go find the story. I hate that.
Their story is. Do I want to say environment storytelling and lore, essentially? So yeah, it's very much environment storytelling and lore, like books and stuff like that, and parchments. Yeah, but I can understand that. What do you think, Talal? Do you think this VR game is hinting very strongly at the possibility of Bloodborne 2?
Hinting at Bloodborne 2, I don't think so.
You don't think so? With the doll from Bloodborne 1 and the Rocky?
Nah.
You don't think at all? Oh, man.
Nah, I'm sorry to say, but...
Logo font being used too?
Sorry?
The Bloodborne logo font was used in the book too.
True, but it doesn't confirm anything that if a Bloodborne 2... It doesn't confirm anything that if a Bloodborne 2 is in the works, though, because at the end of the day, if a Bloodborne 2 is in the works, I'm sure job listings would have been posted straight after they released the VR game.
But they're working on Sekiro.
Yeah, but I know
job listings on the VR game.
No, so the people that are making Bloodborne 2, right?
Yeah.
So
it's both From Software and Japan Studio.
So the developers that made Bloodborne and the VR game, they would have posted a job listing straight after.
Are you sure? Because Japanese job listing is way different than
way different than American job listings. No, I would assume that it'd be like any other job listings, to be honest with you.
Because they didn't even do that with no one knew about Kingdom Hearts 3 until it was announced.
But
Japanese studios are very more tight-lipped when it comes to video games than a lot of Western games.
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing with Yakuza.
But nobody would notice that. That's the thing. Nobody would notice the job listings and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And Spectre, what do you think?
It's like hard to look at Japanese job listings when no one knows A, Japanese, and B, like what to search for. Whereas when everyone's able to search that stuff, it's easy.
Right, yeah, I get you. Inspector, what do you think?
I mean, I never played the original Bloodborne, and I didn't play the VR game, so maybe I don't want to say it fully. Is teasing Bloodborne 2 because, as Red Hood said, they're working on Sekiro. So I think they're focusing more on Sekiro than they are on Bloodborne right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's just cool. I think it's just cool Easter eggs. Maybe they're just maybe they're teasing a shared universe. Maybe I don't know.
They're saying like it's like the books, the story, and stuff like that, and it's an unfinished tale. I'm thinking personally, this is just me, that it's gonna happen, but it's not happening this generation. it's happening PS5 because I think Miyazaki wants to be on the title because I think it's a Sony owned IP, I believe. So Japan could do it themselves, but I hope that's not the case because I think From Software should very much do the same thing that they did last time with Japan Studio and work on the game. But that's just me. I think that is. Oh, I guess the controversy for Nintendo. Oh boy, what was this again? They got a character or a thing removed. Okay. So we all know this old character from Nintendo. Nintendo pledges to remove controversial Native American reference in Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's not the first time Nintendo's had to remove this same content from a game. Nintendo plans to remove a controversial Native American reference from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Mr. Game & Watch character. Smash Bros. Ultimate Mr. Game & Watch character appeared with a feather on his head and torch in his hand during Nintendo's recent Japanese Super Smash Bros. Ultimate live stream. Is called back to 1982 Fire Attack, in which players controlled a cowboy had to defend a wooden fort from Native Americans attempting to set it on fire. Nintendo has been planning to distribute an update for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that removes the feather from the silhouette of Mr. Game & Watch. A Nintendo spokesperson told Eurogamer the original game on which this depiction of the character is based was released more than 3 decades ago and does not represent our company. But as today, we sincerely apologize that this change was not noticed in our marketing material and are continuing our work to make Super Smash Bros. Ultimate an experience that is both welcoming and fun for everyone. So that's that. Somebody, I think it was on Twitter or something, made a big deal about the character showing up from the Fire Tag game that Nintendo made back then, and they were offended by it, very much so. I was just like, wow, I'm surprised that happened. It seems like a lot of characters are being taken out of many popular things. You got, Simpsons, for instance, and now this. What I think about this whole situation, it's a video game. We have characters. Many people are bad guys in real life. We had in the past. Cowboys were bad guys as well. And you have the extremists in both groups. In this game, it's like, not all Native Americans were good people. Just like not all, these people in America were good either. I mean, they stole the land and everything like that. But not going into deep history, this is a video game character. I don't think people should be offended by that because I don't know how you can get offended by it if this has nothing to do with your own person, right? Your own, race and stuff like that.
I disagree. I have to disagree with that. That's like saying because I'm black, I shouldn't be offended by the Washington Redskins. Like that's a fucking offensive term, and it should be out of the NFL. But
I'm talking about in terms of this though.
But it's a character that some people may consider offensive. Like I can't tell them not to be offended. Like,
see me, I just don't understand that though. For this character though, like being offended by it.
I mean, I haven't seen the character, so like I can't really say. But
the 1982 game Fire Attack, like I can't. I'm not offended by it for some reason. I mean, I'm just like that type. Like I can understand when it goes to the extreme of depicting a character or a race to the extreme, like you're slandering a race. But for me, it's like you're going to have villains for different things in different ways, and that was one of the basic things, right? I just don't understand the whole thing, the whole backlash for me. That's just a me thing. Like I can understand if you're calling like you do the whole thing with Hispanics and stuff like that, and you call them the names or you reference that, and they're villains, and you're saying all this, slur terms and stuff like that. I understand, but this is like for me, it's like a game character, and it's an old one. So I call back to one of their classic games, and I don't understand the outrage to it for me. But Inspector, what do you think?
I mean, it's hard because I'm between you and Jigga, because I get where Jigga's coming from, where like it's not like offensive to him, but it could be offensive to other people, so that can like I don't know really what to say because it's hard to put words to it. But I get where both you and Jigga are coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get them.
Like we should just let, like, if the Native American people come out and say, like, I'm offended by that, then we do something about it. But until then, it's like,
yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
The thing was, this person wasn't a Native American that said that.
But we are living in a culture now where everybody wants to be offended for everybody.
That's what I was trying to get at. Like, I can understand if you're a certain person that says it, like, oh, I'm offended about this thing just because. It's like, wait, why are you offended by that? Well, I can relate. It's like, but you're not that certain race or something.
But I guess it's just like blackface. It's like whenever you see it, you should be offended by it. So they're trying to put it on that level, but at the same time, it's like, like we don't know why it's offensive, like for something to look like a Native American. Like I don't like we gotta people have to explain it to us why we should be offended by it. Like people who are actually Native American and like what's the meaning behind it that's offensive.
A lot of like there are some Native Americans that are out of the reservation that can speak, but there's very few. Like they will not really like they're not in tune with this culture, and they're like more they're in their society in the reservations. So it's like it's to that point. It's like unless we want to go and say, hey, this is a game character, and see what they say. But other than that, it's like most of the time, it's like the whole thing with did we know about the whole Simpsons thing? Who said what with the whole I forgot the character's name.
I can get people being offended by Apu because he was like, this is a stereotypical like.
Yeah, but Simpsons though also do stereotypicals for every single other person?
Not really.
Like Homer's the drunk.
I mean that's more of an archetype than
But my thing is, you have the stereotype Irish people in there. You have the stereotype, religious people in there as well. It's like for me, it's like Simpsons is like that. I don't get offended if you're gonna make fun of a certain religion. Like
they don't. I feel like they never show the other side. The only person we see is Apu. Like I don't ever remember any other like. What is he Indian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any other Indians in that show besides him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like
the same thing with the Irish though. There's not many. Like I think there's like one Irish person in there, one Scottish person, one religious person, and stuff like that. It's like my thing is, it's like they make fun of everything though. Like I don't get offended if they like make fun of let's say they make fun of a religion that I'm associated with. I don't get offended by that. South Park does it all the time, and I don't get offended by that.
But I guess because you are of the culture, let's say it like that. Like you are somebody who like you seen that they fucking talk shit about everybody, so it's like
I just don't get offended.
If you don't, if you're not like you don't watch shows and cartoons and shit like that, so you wouldn't when you see that you're like, oh my god, that's offensive. But it's like they're offensive to everybody, so it's like I don't know, bro. It's different.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the different mindset that I'm like, I don't get offended easily. That's just me. Like, unless like it's something really bad. I'm just like, yo, this. If you're not doing to every, like the whole Simpsons thing. If you're not doing it to everybody, you're doing it to one group specifically, then I'm gonna have a problem with that. But if you do it to like the whole thing, even South Park, what craps on everybody, every single person, every single like religion, race, and all that stuff. Like that's like the whole like parody and sitcom and shit like that.
I'm just falling back because it has nothing to do with me, though.
I feel that.
Like I can't. Like I just don't want to be the person who's like out here telling people how to feel. Like I hate people like that.
Feel however you want to feel.
Yeah.
It's just I would like even like Century says like dialogue between people. And
yeah,
like
we really do need dialogue.
But what about you, Talati? What do you think about that? The whole like Nintendo removing the character because of backlash.
Nintendo removing
the Native American character.
I think it would cause a lot of controversy if they kept him in and stuff. I believe, and I'm gonna like elaborate on, but I can't say much more than what Jigga said. So, because I agree with some of the stuff he says.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is that time will tell, well, as soon as the game is released, if this will affect some people's relation to the game.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess we can talk quickly about. I guess we'll go in the movie. No.
There's one more topic.
Yeah, I completely forgot for some reason. So there was an update. They didn't even actually like officially announce it. I'm surprised that there was no like actual like, oh, this is happening. I'm gonna assume there's a trailer tomorrow for this, but news goes that that Spider-Man PS4 DLC, The Heist, will be coming out November 20th. Some YouTubers were saying it was going to get delayed and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like the case. It came up for the update today. I got the update as well. I didn't like open the game yet because of Red Dead. But it seems like they're going along the plan of, hey, it's coming up monthly. And it's going to continue to come out monthly unless there's a big issue with the DLC. Personally, do I think that's a good time? Yeah, I actually do. I think that's a good time when it comes to because that's the Thanksgiving week, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So perfect time. Because I don't have school, so yeah, that's good for me. It's actually the last day I have class until Thanksgiving break. So right when I'm done with class, hop on for the DLC and I'm good. Yeah, I think that's the smart thing to do is put it on that week. I like putting on November 27th. I thought would have been a bad move, but November 20th is a perfect day, I think, for them to put it out. And yeah, we all know, Hammerhead's going to be in it. They showed the image and stuff like that, and the main title screen of the game. Yeah, I don't know whether or not it's going to be lengthy or not. So some YouTubers are saying, just like some YouTubers said they were going to delay it. So I can't really trust what they're saying exactly. But other than that, I think that's the perfect date, and I can't wait to play more of Spider-Man come November 20th. What do you think about it, Jigga?
And I got Spider-Man fatigue, dog.
Oh man, Spider-Man fatigue. I feel it.
Like, cause they added, like, I feel like, I don't know, they couldn't have just added just story because that shit was so short. Mm-hmm. That side stuff is boring because, like, once you do that in the main game, it's like, I really don't feel like going back doing that in the DLC, bro. Like all those crying crap. That's just annoying.
Stuff like that.
You say?
I said, are you talking about the screwball challenge and like the paint?
Yeah, that and the crying, like that's just boring after like you do it like during the main game, bro.
Dude, I think I've said this in the past that all superhero games need to adopt the Red Dead 2 model with the random encounters and stuff like that. And I think that would like really be awesome for superhero games to do, is adopt that, because it's so different than everybody else's experience with it. Because it's just a lot of random encounters in the game.
Yeah,
because they're not side missions; they're just random.
I'm still mad I haven't got my fucking email for the platinum, bro.
But I didn't get the code, so I have to talk to PlayStation and see what's up with that, because I got no code to redeem for my avatar. It's like they gave me the picture of the avatar with no code. The code's supposed to be on the bottom, and there was none. But whatever. Inspector, what do you think about it coming out November 20th?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the last DLC came out at the end of September, end of October, so it only like around the mid-October. So it makes sense that it would come a month later and like right before Thanksgiving, so everybody will be off to play it. I will be working on Thanksgiving, so
Dang.
yeah.
This thing's like Talado, what do you think?
What I think about the Spider-Man DLCs, I think it looks they've done the right thing putting it out on a Tuesday and a Friday. That's the first beneficial thing they've done, and the second thing is, the second thing I think with this DLC, I think this will be a lot longer than the Catwoman one, a little bit longer.
So
Maybe
what the YouTubers are saying about that?
which YouTubers?
I don't know. So like some
Super
of them,
Rebel.
I don't know. It's just like the ones that are saying that type of stuff and tweeting it out.
I know who you're on about. The one thing I'll say is just the fact that it's gonna be a lot long. It'll be a longer, like the story campaign will be a little bit longer than the Catwoman DLC. But the one thing that really annoys me, the fact is the side missions, because they put the side missions in, and they expect you to get this certain level, and it's like you can't do it.
The challenge map stuff.
Yeah, it's just like screwball challenges. It's just really ridiculous. You really expect people to get spectacular on some of these stuff, and it's really difficult to do. Like you have, like and but I think with this next one, I think it's going to be really cool. At least we've seen. I haven't seen. I've only seen the image of Hammerhead, so I saw that and I was just like, okay, it's living up to its expectations. I can't wait to see some in-game footage though.
Yeah. Do you think the trailer is probably coming out? Most likely.
Probably Friday.
You think Friday?
I think Friday. I don't think it'll be next week.
Thursday.
Have they announced the suits yet, or no?
Wait, what?
What was that?
Have they announced the suits yet that are coming with the DLC?
No.
They haven't announced anything about it besides this thing that came out.
No suits announcement, just the DLC release date.
Yeah. It wasn't even on a Twitter page or anything. It was for the main game menu. So it's coming out November 20th. I don't even think Insomniac tweeted about it.
No. This was all posted. I think this was IGN posted it. I saw it on IGN. But yeah, I think the whole Spider-Man DLC. I wonder. My biggest question.
My thing is, do you think Turf Wars is going to be just a random game against Hammerhead, or you think it's going to be like other?
No, I think it'll be gang wars, like
Wilson Fisk gang as well. Or?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! I think that's the whole point of Turf Wars, is to have all like major, like, so you have the demons, you'll have the mafia, and you'll have the Wilson Fisk gang all going off against each other, and Spider-Man have to stop
that
them.
would make sense with the demon game, because it was never confirmed or denied whether or not Martin Lee would come back in prison or not.
No, there was no confirming whether there was no confirmation of whether Martin Lee would go back as Mr. Negative, or confirmation whether he was a sane guy. There was no confirmation of that.
No, I wasn't even saying that. I said there was like no confirmation whether or not he went back to prison or not, or they took him. Like, we have no idea.
No, I don't think that happened. But the one thing I do know for a fact though is that this will be a gang versus gang type of thing in Spider-Man, trying to find out the whole Black Cat situation as well.
Yeah, because some people are saying whether or not she'll be a part of the DLC. I hope she is. I really hope so.
I don't think she will be of the second part. Maybe the third part.
Maybe the third part. I hope so.
Alongside Silver Sable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would make sense for Sable's team or her to come back when all this chaos is coming back. So it would make sense for her to come back and.
But the biggest question of all of this DLC pack is what suit, because don't forget Brian Interhart, the game creative director, actually stated that one of his favorite suits is in this game, in the second pack of the DLC.
Like you said, it's a comic book suit though.
Yeah, he said it was a comic book, not movie tied in. So I wonder which suit he's talking about.
No, I don't know what his favorite suit is. Someone be like, "Yo, what's your favorite suit?"
Yeah, I know, and I think we'll probably get some sort of suit announcement probably next week. I think this week is just going to be a trailer itself, like a little teaser, and then next week is be
like the equivalent of Black Cat. It's not going to be like a 2 or 3 minute. It's going to be like a minute.
About a minute and 30 seconds, right? That's what I'm thinking. But like the DLC suits, I'm thinking they're gonna have to show some gameplay for it.
And what I want Insomniac / PlayStation to do, not give it out to YouTubers early, because it annoys me because they post
the videos early.
So early before it actually comes out. And I'm just like, are you guys kidding me now? Because the YouTubers have no restraint when it comes to thumbnails and titles. Some of the YouTubers.
I mean, they're all about the views, sir. I mean,
No. The thing is, right? I know for a fact, like some YouTubers get the game early, right, and they pre-record it and then upload it.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's like one YouTuber that I know, he posts a full video on it, and it's not even out before it's released. So, this guy called YN Sector and stuff like that, I've seen him post before it's released, and I'm just like, how? And I mean, it works out in the Rad Brad's favor because he's a YouTuber and he does Let's Play.
Well, my thing is, Rad Brad's fine because he doesn't put spoiler like thumbnails.
No, he doesn't put spoiler. He doesn't put spoiler thumbnails. But I've seen other content creators like Evan Falaka and Super Rebel and Joe Raptor and all of these guys post like spoiler type of thing.
Yeah, and it pisses me off. It really does. Because that irritates me because it's like, I'm still finishing the game. It just popped up. I wasn't even searching for it. And it gets me aggravated. But I guess we'll see if it comes out tomorrow or Friday.
I'm saying it's going to be Friday, man, because tomorrow's will be too close since it got leaked. Well, not leaked, since it got announced. So I think it'd be a Friday thing.
All right. I think that's it for game news. We got like 2 more topics. And one, I guess. Did we talk last week? I don't know if we did or no. I think we did. We talked about Castlevania being greenlit for season 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess we'll talk about Ryan Johnson.
Oh god, here we go. Star Wars related.
As Star Wars: The Last Jedi's Luke Skywalker 100% consistent with the original trilogy. Hot take: Luke is in fact 100% consistent with his character, not the way he's described in marketing blurbs, but his actual based on his words and action character from OT. I'll be at the bar if you need me. So. People were making comparisons, and somehow he saw it, and then he made that comment. And my thing is, right? I understood. Like I still like The Last Jedi. Some people don't. So divisive film, to say the least. My thing is, I'm now going on the fan side of things, where it's like, don't antagonize. You're doing it just to do it. I've seen some of his tweets, and I like The Last Jedi. I still think what he said is somewhat truthful, but my thing is he kind of needs to stop harassing fans. And I know it's back and forth. I know fans attack him personally. I think that's bad. But when fans are actually trying to have like a intellectual conversation regarding their favorite characters, that's then purely opinionated, right? I think he should respect that and say, you know what? I, respectfully disagree, and it's like, okay, cool. But when you start getting into it and you're trying to do this and you're trying to rile up the fans because a fan base is split. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Fan base is split for Star Wars, and I've seen some of the things that have happened. And, I'm not saying which one's right or wrong, but I do think, just like kind of like the Diablo situation, that you should not antagonize the fan base. I really agree with that. But, I guess that's really what all I have to say on that aspect. I know, Talia, you're a big Star Wars guy. Do you think that he should have just, stayed quiet, or, was this to rile up the fans, or what?
Talia?
Sorry,
Yeah.
so I just drifted off there. Sorry.
Yeah. I was saying, like, with Ryan Johnson and stuff like that, with the tweet he made, was he trying to rile up the fans or whatnot, or you think it was just his own personal opinion?
I think he wants to make the fans pissed because he knows that Star Wars fans are passionate with what he did with the Star Wars Episode 8 and how he ruined it. And I'm not gonna lie, he ruined Star Wars the way it was. Like, come on, that ain't Luke Skywalker. No way, it's Luke Skywalker. The way he was acting, and we all know what Mark Hamill had to say about it, and he had to retract the statement because of it. And but at the end of the day, Ryan Johnson is triggering a lot of people. So I think to this point, Ryan Johnson should stop. I repeat, stop triggering the fans, because if you do, this is going to damage your reputation as a director and your fan base, and people will say, look, you caused this drama, this rift between this huge company as Star Wars, which Lucas made, and you simply just ruined it, and now people are just like, what if you do the same thing for this franchise, such as let's say Spider-Man. If you do Spider-Man, then people will just be like, well, you're going to try and ruin this franchise too. So
I gotcha. What do you think about this, Inspector?
I get what he was trying to do, but I think he's just trying to rile up the fans. And when you're Star Wars fans are very, very opinionated, and some are like really toxic. Like there's the extreme people in the Star Wars fan base that like hate everything that Disney is doing. And like, I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I don't really care. But like, Last Jedi was fine. It didn't impress me that much, but like, I don't say it ruined Star Wars because I have really no connection to the Star Wars series. So I just think he should stop trying to rile up fans. But whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha. Jiggle, what do you think about Ryan Johnson's remarks and stuff like that? I don't know if you're a big Star Wars fan or whatnot, but you're into the know of like about the fan base and how you shouldn't really upset the consumers and stuff like that. Do you think this is a bit different or similar to, like, I guess?
So who is Ryan Johnson? I never heard of him.
He's the director of Episode 8 for Star Wars.
Okay, so it might be one of those things where he's just like, where people keep saying you messed up something, you get tired of hearing it, and it's like, oh, well, you know what? No, it's right. I did it right. And it's like, it's not that he's wrong or right. It's just he may just gotten his feelings, because it's like when you put your effort and your talent to something, people like, no, you fucked it up. You're gonna feel some type of way. So like, should he be saying this? No, he should just fall back and, like, if you believe you did what you did right, then just believe in it. And whether nobody say, just believe in yourself. But fans are probably come. He probably gets like probably thousands and thousands of fans every day come tell him he fucked the movie up and he didn't do it right or whatnot. So it's like, I mean, it is like I don't know, bro. It's like I've never been in that position where people are like, "Hey, man, you fucked up my favorite franchise. I don't like you," and it's like, but you feel like you did put your all into it. So I don't know, but should he fall back? Yes, like just leave it alone. And you mean the fans are going to be passionate. It's something they care about. So just look at it from their standpoint of view. You may believe you did it right, but it's their passion. Like they put years into this, watching this and enjoying this content. So it's like, just let it go, bro.
Yeah. All right. So Kingsman 3. All right. It's been, announced. Who played Egsby? Something Edgerton?
Taron Egerton.
Yeah, exactly. He is doing a press junket for was it Robin Hood or Robin?
Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Yeah.
He was asked the question if he will be in Kingsman 3, and he said no. He will not be. It's a narrative choice. It's not conflicting. Like he would do it, but Matthew Vaughn is not doing that. He is not out of Kingsman though. He's just not going to be in the next Kingsman movie. And this kind of, I guess, corroborates the whole that this might be a 20th century Kingsman movie. So it wouldn't make sense that Egsby is not in this movie at all because he hasn't been born yet. So I guess. Personally, I think 1 was the best Kingsman movie. 2 was decent. 3 hopefully gets back to the 1 style. I don't know why I didn't like it as much as 1. Maybe it's just like the pacing wasn't there for me, as well as the story wasn't as gripping. But I guess, Inspector, what do you think about this news? Do you believe that this kind of corroborates the whole 20th century Kingsman Secret Service movie?
I guess I liked Kingsman 1. I didn't see Kingsman 2 because I heard it was kind of bad. So I kind of I was going to see it, but then nah. Then I didn't. Then I never watched it on demand or anything. So I wouldn't say I'm interested in Kingsman 3. I think because the second one didn't really do that good in the box office, did it?
No, he didn't.
I guess it was enough to justify a third movie. Maybe. I mean,
or maybe Vaughn is just under contract to do 3 movies.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, there's only so much you can do with this concept because,
well, they're basically occupying it's a parody of James Bond.
Well, the thing is, the Kingsman book, the Kingsman comic book,
yeah,
there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the second one came out after the second movie, and it wasn't even connected to the second movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking really like a Vaughn thing, and he's just gonna, I guess, make his original thing for it. I mean, 20th Century got me interested. I mean, I think they could do a lot of things with it, but I don't know if it's a deal. I think it might be a deal breaker to some who likes the character Egsby, but it's if Vaughn thinks it's better to take the franchise back into the 20th century, it's I guess that's the right thing to do. To get it to the status that was Kingsman 1.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Taladio, what do you think about the actor for Egsby not coming to Kingsman 3, but he's not gone from the franchise? It's a narrative choice, and do you think that corroborates the whole 20th century Kingsman rumor?
I have to agree. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's this franchise, when they first started off, it was with that, because I saw the trailers. I never watched, I've never had the time to watch a Kingsman movie, but after after what he said, I'm just maybe creative differences. Maybe it was the right thing for him to do, just to maybe not be a part of the third one. And and that they'll focus on a different character just to try and save face. But who knows, man?
Mm-hmm. All right, Jigga, have you seen any of the Kingsman movie, and what do you think about this news?
No, I have not.
Oh man, at least watch Kingsman 1.
I don't know, bro.
Disservice.
I mean, I always looked at it and saw it was like it looked okay, but it's like
Kingsman 1 really good. Kingsman 2, not so much, but I think you should just at least give 1 a shot. I think you like it. I like Samuel L. Jackson a lot in that movie too.
Yeah, I liked. Like he was like over the top, but he was really good in it.
So I just love the over the top for him.
Same.
Like just because like there's the one scene where he's like about to vomit and stuff. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that scene. But I guess we go into Walking Dead. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed. Andrew Lincoln, aka Rick Grimes. Of course, we knew he was leaving the TV franchise, but he's contracted for 3 movies, 3 AMC movies. They will be premiered, of course, on the AMC channel, not the AMC, not in the movie theaters, actually. So, I mean, like personally, I understand why he did that, so he could spend time more with his family. He was probably getting tired of this routine for the Walking Dead show, and he wanted something different, something fresh, and do movie format. I don't blame him. Personally, though, I don't know how well these movies are going to do on the channel for AMC. I can't tell you. I mean, still Walking Dead, even though it's waning on the numbers, is still one of the biggest shows in terms of viewership, though. Even though they're still, they have been on the decline, but they're still keep getting more seasons just because of, the viewership is still high, even though it's declining. Other than that, I mean, personally, I will watch the movies just because Andrew Lincoln's in it, and I think he's a really good actor. I'm not expecting much from the films, though. It's just but I haven't been watching The Walking Dead show in like ages. I watch it from if I'm bored and I'm playing a video game, and I'll do two things at once. But I don't give The Walking Dead my undivided attention. It's more of along the lines of like, I'll watch it when I'm bored and playing a different game that I also kind of bored with. But that's just me. Jigga, I know you saying The Walking Dead is ew, but what do you think about this news? You like, is this getting you slightly interested, or is it still ew?
No, I really. I'm gonna watch the movies because I actually liked him in The Walking Dead. He was like he was a good actor in that show.
Yeah.
But that show he can die for all I care. It's like
I mean, they did lose Andrew Lincoln essentially, so it's like
that show is dead. Like after they killed Glenn, like it was already going downhill. Then they killed Glenn off, and it was like, yep, it's dead. It jumped the shark. Glenn was jumping the shark, dog.
Yeah, I feel that. I guess, Inspector, what do you think about this news? You think this was a smart move for Andrew Lincoln? And is this supposed to help the TV show, or do you think it's going to help the decline for the TV show?
I never got into The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any opinion on this. I heard it started declining after the 2nd season.
Mm-hmm.
I think since he was probably the most popular character on the show.
Yeah, I mean, he is the main character of the show and in the comics, so it's like,
I think they're just gonna go and watch him in the movies and not watch the show.
Yeah, I think it's going to decline even more. I think, personally speaking,
this move is not even really about to show me. I think it's like they realize like he's still like the it guy on that network, so it's like keep him from as long as you can, like to make content that make like get you like some money, since it's like his name is still like big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you.
I think they realized the show dead.
Yeah,
but it's still making the money probably, so they're still like dragging it along. But as soon as it starts making the money, then they'll let it go.
Yeah, I mean, once it's done, once like the viewership gets on a really like low, like CW numbers, then they'll be like, well, time to cancel that, boys. but it's still high. I guess Talia, you have any comments on the main character getting his own 3 movies on the AMC channel, and is this gonna make?
I've got nothing more to add because Inspector said what I was going to say.
All right. The last one, Breaking Bad, and I'm actually
the Pinkman movie.
dude, I'm down for that actually. Breaking Bad film will be a sequel to the series finale. The film has reported that Breaking Bad film will follow Aaron Paul's Jesse Pinkman and will be a sequel set after the series finale that aired in 2013. Additionally, via the Wrap, Ryan Krasnick confirmed that the Breaking Bad film is in production on the Dan Patrick Show. Although he hasn't read the script, he would absolutely do it and be a part of the movie if creator Vince Gilligan asked him to. Original story follows Breaking Bad, the AMC drama that ended its hugely successful run in 2013, is now reportedly set to be getting a feature film, as reported by the Albuquerque Journal. According to the New Mexico Film Office, a production currently titled Greenbrier will begin production in the Duke City mid-November through early February. While the film office wouldn't confirm that Greenbrier was in fact a Breaking Bad film, a source close to the project confirmed the production. Greenbrier's logline says the film tracks the escape of kidnapped man and his quest for freedom. Variety confirmed that the report that Breaking Bad creator Vincent Gilligan will be working on the film, although whether it's destined for multiplexes or television is unclear. This would be the first project that Vincent Gilligan would be working on with Sony Pictures Television after he signed a 3-year deal with them back in July. No further information was given for the production, and it's currently unclear if it will be. Yeah, we already know that. Personally, I think that's good. If Vince Gilligan is on top of this project, I have absolute faith that this is good. I love Breaking Bad. I love Better Call Saul, and if he's on top of this, like I think he's really talented, Vince Gilligan, and I can't wait to see more for Breaking Bad. I really enjoyed Jesse as a character in terms of his development. He was this guy that had no life. It looked like he was selling low end drugs, not making a name for himself, and then you meeting Walter and creating this empire that they were doing, and being involved with gangs and stuff like that, and murder, and Jesse becoming more mature throughout the story, and where he's his own person, without Walter. And even though Walter helped him out at the end, which we know at the ending of Breaking Bad, which is going to be interesting how Walter will play in breaking this movie, because we know his outcome, which is a tragic outcome. But nonetheless, Jigga, I don't know if you watched Breaking Bad. You think this is a good move? Or are you interested? And I don't even know where this is going to be. If this is going to be television or this is going to be actual in the movie theaters.
They could probably go either way, but yeah, I'm really hyped for it. I really love the show. I mean, it sucked how it ended, but we all saw it coming. Yeah, it was a good show, and his he did play a good character, so yeah, I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you watched it, Inspector. What do you think about, I guess, this news? If you haven't watched,
yeah, I haven't. I watched the first episode. I never got around to watching it, but it's interesting. Again, as I said, I don't. I think it's going to be a TV movie. I don't think they're going to put it in the movie theaters, because movie audiences are totally different from movie audiences. I don't think if you put a Breaking Bad movie in the theaters that people will go out and see it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the hardcore fans, but it won't. They'll probably put it out in a Fathom event type setting.
Sure. Go to that. Give me that Fathom event. I'm down.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a TV movie, probably a 2-hour TV movie on AMC. Oh. I think it's smart because he was a popular character in the show. So.
Oh yeah. Saladi, have you watched Breaking Bad, and how do you feel about this movie being announced?
I haven't been able to watch Breaking Bad, unfortunately, but I heard some good stuff about it, and I think this will be, like Inspector said, um, like a movie TV thing, and I think this will be really good for the show. Sorry, for the production team. I think it'd be really cool.
Yep. And I guess that's really it. I don't have any other topics unless you guys have anything else. I know we will definitely kind of have a actual like lengthy one next week because of the nominations being announced for Game Awards. So it's going to be very Game Award centric for next week's podcast. And the week after will be a break because of Thanksgiving. So I'm not going to have these guys be on. It'll be a break.
And then the week after will be the Video Game Awards.
Yeah, that week of the Game Awards. Yeah. So, oh no, it'll be 2 weeks after. I think 2 weeks after is the Game Awards because it's December 6th.
Yeah.
So, any you guys want to say anything else, or should we do our outros?
Yeah, we could just do the outros. I don't have anything.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this as a past broadcast, make sure to hit the thumbs up button up. If you want to see more content for the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit the bell notification so you guys can get updated to when videos go live, as well as live streams to go live. And if you like my personality, my glowing personality, my Deadpool personality, just make sure to hop over to my Twitch channel at RedHood420. I'll be live streaming video games tomorrow. Will be actually a lengthy live stream because I don't have work Thursday or Friday. So yeah, expect some lengthy streams those days. And also make sure to hit me up on Twitter at RedHood420. Well, at RedHood240. Sorry, why I say 420? Don't go into it. That's a fake Red Hood. Real Red Hood is at RedHood240 on Twitter. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Jacob, where can they find you at?
Oh man, y'all can check me out on Twitch and Twitter, Jigga April. Well, actually, it's Twitch and YouTube, Jigga April, and Twitter, Jigga April 1. Yeah, that's where I'll be at.
All right, Inspector, where can they find you at?
They can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector, and not every week, but most weeks on the 52 Pickup Podcast. We just released our episode today, and we talked about Superman Red Sun. It was a really fun conversation.
Nice. And that's on Spotify and
Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud,
nice.
iTunes.
That's good. And Taladia, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, which is at mtaladia. You can also find me on YouTube, which is Taladia Plays. I'll be having a video out this weekend talking about the Video Game Awards and comic book games in general. And also you can find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Taladia Plays, where I play Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man PS4.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. And hope you guys have a great day. This is the Overleveled Podcast signing off.
Bye.
See you guys